Hi and welcome to today's video. This is the second video in the series of how to learn CAD, and what we're going to do today is we're going to continue using DraftSight and we're going to use some of the edit commands, so you'll be able to learn how to create lines and circles without actually creating lines and circles. You'll get more of it in a minute. If this is the first video of the series you've watched, go back and watch the first one, because I'm not going to go over anything we've already covered. This is going to be just kind of like steamrolling our way into learning CAD. So what we're going to do is 2D CAD and then 3D CAD. Go back and watch the first video. Right, without further ado, let's switch to the DraftSight window. Here we are in the DraftSight window, and in the last lesson we learned how to draw lines and circles. And that's pretty much all you ever need to draw. Today we're going to use the edit commands, or the modify window up here in the DraftSight window, and we're going to talk about copy, move, rotate, scale, trim and offset. Pretty much that's going to be it. So first of all, we're going to need some stuff on the screen, so we're going to have to draw some lines. I'm just going to draw some random lines. They're not anything at all, and I'm going to draw some random circles. Okay, so we've got some random lines and circles. Right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to use the move command. So if we drop down this menu here and select move, what it says is specify your entity. Right, I'm going to select this line and hit return. And then it says specify from point. From point? That just means where do you want to pick it up. So we want to pick it up from here randomly. And now you can see it's attached to the cursor. And then it says specify destination. That's where we want to dump it down. So I want to dump it down inside this circle. There we go. And we've moved it. Yes, I know there's no difference between that and just clicking on the blue thing in the middle. It's exactly the same, but there's a command called it, so I'm going to cover it. Right, so let's do something that the control point can't do. Let's move the circle and the line at the same time. So we go move, we select the circle, and without pressing return we select the line, and then we press return. And then it says specify from point. I want to pick it up from here and I'm going to dump it down over there, and as you can see it magically moved the two things at once. Now if we wanted to move that line, we can select that line, pick it up from over here if I like, and put it inside the circle, and then I can select move and I can select the circle and all those lines. Hit return, pick it up from somewhere there, dump it down somewhere there. That's move. It's that simple. Some people say I like to move things with the control points. That's absolutely fine. If you want to move more than one thing at once, you can group select, hit move, pick it up, put it down. That's fine. The order in which you do things doesn't really matter. You can select the command and pick them up, or you can pick them up and then select the command. That's move. So now we're going to do copy. Copy is exactly the same as move. You pick up an item, you pick it up from somewhere, and you dump it down somewhere. And then you dump it down somewhere else, and you dump it down somewhere else. And it does exactly what it says in the tin, copies. So we can do three things at once, we can copy, and we can overlap them. Right, screen's getting a little bit too busy now, so let's just delete that stuff. Oh, I've lost my lines, so let's put some lines back in. Right, so that's move and copy. Now, I'm going to get rid of the circles. Whoops, still in line. I'm going to get rid of the circles, and I'm going to teach you how to rotate something. So we're going to move that line out the way, and it kind of like points up a bit, and it's not right. So we're going to choose rotate, and rotate again says specify it. There's a pattern to all these commands. You click what you want, you hit return, and then it says specify pivot point. Pivot point? That just means the center. If you imagine you rotate things around a circle, that just means the center. So we click the middle of the line if we can, and then as we move away we can rotate it. As you can see, you can of course type in 90 degrees and it'll rotate 90 degrees, or you can just rotate. I'll pick it up from this end this time, and you can just rotate it to somewhere rough. You know, that's looks kind of straight. It's not straight, but it looks kind of straight. So now if we rotate that from that end 90 degrees, you'll see it now goes kind of horizontal. That's rotate, move and copy. Very, very simple. Right, now how to create stuff without creating stuff. let's get a little bit more into this. Let's just delete everything off the screen. Now I want to create a line. And I want to create that line from this point. Right. What I'd like is that line to go straight up. And it's not. It's kind of like jumping to the cursor. Now, at the bottom of the screen, you can see there's something called Ortho. If you click that button, what it does is, it doesn't matter where the cursor is, the line will now lock to vertical or horizontal. That's orthographic mode. I never ever turn that off. Only ever use it. Only ever use CAD with it on. So now we can create a vertical line and a horizontal line and a vertical line and a horizontal line. And press it. Oh look, we've created a rectangle with this kind of weird crossy bit. That's fine. We can know that we didn't use rectangle to create it, because if we select the items, they're individual, and we know from the last lesson that using rectangle creates a polyline. Go back. Yeah, you stop trying to cheat. Go back and watch it. Right, so this command here is called offset. Now offset is the most awesome command in CAD. Basically what it does is it copies a line a set distance from the original line or circle or whatever. So we hit offset and we look down at the corner and it says specify distance. Again, generic units. I'm going to use 10 millimeters, 10 inches, 10 million light years, doesn't matter. 10. And now it says specify source entity. What do you want to offset? I want to offset this. Didn't do anything. Oh, hang on. Specify side for destination. What side do you want to offset? Do you want to offset this side or this side? Let's go this side. And that line is now exactly 10 from the original line. But it now says specify source entity again. So I can click that, go that side, click that, and I can continue offsetting these lines 10 apart. When you want to finish, hit return. Works with horizontal lines too. We hit offset, specify distance, 25. Specify source, specify side. We're going to go inside this time. That's offset. It works with horizontal lines. It even works with circles. Let's create a circle, and let's give this circle a 30 millimeter or generic unit radius. Right, I'll just zoom in on it. Right, now let's offset that 5 on the outside. Nice. We can prove that it's been offset 5 because now the radius is 35. The original radius was 30. Right, here's a little tip. I said in the very first video that I was going to show you, if you didn't have the properties box open, how to get it open. I've closed it. What you do, double click anything. Double click that circle, it pops up, jam it to the side of the screen and it'll always stay there. Double click the mouse to bring everything back. So, that's offset. But what about these horrible lines down here? They cross and I don't really want to have to kind of try and drag it back and zoom in and drag that one up and then zoom in and drag that's rubbish really, isn't it? Right, so what we're going to do is we're going to use a command up here called trim. There it is, pair of scissors. So you hit trim and it says specify cutting edge. Which edge do you want to use as the barrier? This one. Okay, press return. Specify segment to remove. I want to cut that off, and that is now exactly to that line. Let's do that again. So we go to trim, specify cutting edge. This time I want the cutting edge to be there, and I want the segment to remove to be that one, and that's nicely trimmed out. Excellent. Right, let's use what we've learned and let's create a grid. So let's just get rid of everything. Now I'm going to draw a line and I'm going to just start randomly somewhere and I'm going to go straight up and I'm going to go from that point and I'm going to go straight across. So now I've got that. Now I'm going to use offset and I'm going to use 30 generic units and I'm going to go down and down and down and down and down and I'm going to go across, 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 across and across. Now I've got all these unsightly horrible lines. So I'm now going to use trim and and I'm going to select that as the cutting edge, and I'm going to select that as the cutting edge, and then I'm going to use a crossing window to group select all of that and get rid of it all. Now we have a grid of 30 squares. 30 by, it's 30 from there to there to there to there, not 30 square. You know what I mean. And that is how offset will save you a whole bunch of time to create geometry. So we've done move, copy, rotate, we've done offset, and we've done trim. There's one more thing I want to teach you in this lesson, and that's extend. Extend is the opposite of trim. So let's create a line. I'm not going to use the keyboard shortcuts because you cannot see what I'm typing. So let's line there to there, through there, and let's put another line kind of over here. Right, now what I want to do is I want to draw a line from there, and I want to go to there, but I accidentally clicked there. It's not long enough. So what I can do is I can go past it and click. That looks okay, right? Nope, that's rubbish, because if you click that, that's a separate line to that. What? We want that to be one line, not two. So delete that line. And they're overhanging at this end. That just looks really horrible. So what we've learned is we can trim and we can cut to that end, and we can cut them off. But okay, so let's go for extend. Select the boundary edge. Let's select that as a boundary, and then what do you want to extend? We want to extend that and that, and there you go. So now if we click them two lines, you can see they start at that line and they end exactly at that line. Yeah, right, that's probably as far as I want to go in this one, because that was quite a lot in a short amount of time. So yeah, please, any comments you've got about this lesson, put them in the comments. I'll answer them as best I can, and I'll see you in the next one. So that's it for now. I've been Steve. Thanks for listening.